G'day everyone, I'm Simon Christie and welcome to another action-packed episode of Full Drive TV. This week we head to the foothills just east of Melbourne for 2 years worth of the Drivetech 4x4 Wild Dog Winch Challenge. Steep hills, muddy trails and big rocks make up some of the action you're going to see. It's a huge episode, I hope you enjoy it.
We're here today at Bindaree Station, Drivetech 4x4 Winch Challenge. We've got a field of cars, mostly GQ patrols, quite a few LS V8s, a couple of diesels in the mix this year. We've got 2 Jeeps racing, which is a bit of a change, along with a couple of Landcruisers, which is good to see a bit of variety. So we've got a huge variety of tracks this weekend. We've had rocky tracks, muddy tracks, big hill climbs.
And there's vertical rock walls and there's the rock garden that everyone probably knows about off in the bush and everything that they'd want really.
Our sport's sanctioned by the CCDA. They give us a rule framework that we operate under. The rules qualify car categories, winching techniques and obviously a lot around safety to make sure everyone's protected.
We've been involved in the four-wheel drive community, well, my whole life and most of Dad's, so it's really nice to be involved and hold this sort of event.
They've pushed the event back into winter a little bit and it's a bit wetter. Jimbo and his crew have really stepped it up with the tracks. A few times you got to think outside the box.
Beautiful property in that you've got the variety. On the low side there's mud and followed by some more mud.
A bit dirty, but it's pretty good. The courses are fairly well defined. It's tight, so yeah, lots of cutting breaks to help spin you around the trees.
There's the normal uphill climbs, but he's thrown in a few extra creek crossings and stuff which is really deep and really soft, so that makes people think a bit more.
It's been pretty straightforward when you're in the car, but some of the winches have been pretty technical, which is it's good. Something we've been asking for a while. We were fortunate enough to win it last year, so we're just trying to back that up. But there's some hot competition. We're a little bit behind at the moment, so we're playing catch up.
So we've had a pretty good day. We haven't had any DNFs. We've had a broken fan on the cooling system. That's about as bad as it's gotten so far.
We haven't had any accidents. We've been going pretty good, touch wood. You know, we've got a few extra dints, but that's it.
Having a great day out here today. Haven't broken anything so far, touch wood, so hopefully we'll just keep looking after the car and ticking them off. Yeah, I broke Jazzy. Probably made a rookie call leaving him out of the car on one stage, so he had to do a little bit of cross-country marathon running.
G'day, my name's Luke, here at the Drivetech Wild Dog Winch Challenge. It's been a lovely weekend with lots of rain, bit of mud, and some broken cars and some good fun. So Drivetech 4x4 is really happy to come out and support the local off-road challenge guys that do some really serious things. We're just glad to be part of it, be out here and support all the local four-wheel drive scene. We've seen a tree ran to a bonnet, a big rollover or two, a couple of broken cars and broken bits and pieces, but they're all still pushing hard and fighting to get to the end.
Had a bit of a mishap. Found a tree and it went through my bonnet scoop, into my power steering, also into my 24-volt alternator which shorted out the car. Taped it back up, somehow drove with no power steering, finished the stage, but fix it, we're all good. I'll just throw some power steering fluid in it, take the wire up properly, and yeah, hopefully drive the rest of the stages.
Yesterday was nice and tight to the trees, lots of walking, bit of rocks. Today's opened it right up, a lot better for the spectators. A bit more mud out in the flat track. Some nice big hill climbs, nice and steep.
Spectator day. So that's Sunday stages. You've got a whole lot of big winch hills basically going up and down this really steep escarpment. So yeah, test the winches, test the navies every year.
We're having a good weekend so far. The car's holding together awesome, better than it's ever been. It's all new suspension, new engine. Pat's put a front back on it to keep the CCDA happy. New guards and bonnet. And everything's working well. It's the best it's ever been. But, you know, it could all change in one stage at this point. Sometimes he's a little bit slow, I think. I'd like him to run a bit faster at times, but yeah, been going all right, I suppose.
Could be a bit faster on the wheel, but
This is our third year in the event. We've grown each year, more spectators, more marshals, more stages and harder tracks. We've got a sell-out field again this year, both of spectators and competitors.
It takes a lot to organise such a big event, but I must say all the guys and everything are really good to deal with. We have a lot of people in camp, so over 300 people. We fed 270 people last night, 55 marshals that we've got to keep happy and keep healthy on the field, running meals into them. It is a big lot of work behind the scenes that goes on, but it is really quite enjoyable.
it's improved a lot since last year, I must say. It's a lot more stages, they're a lot faster, there's heaps of winching, it's a bit wetter than it was last year as well, which helps.
There's always new tracks being put in here. It's just got diverse terrain, it changes a lot. There's a lot of new people coming into the sport in the last couple of years, but there's still a lot of old-time competitors as well that have been doing it for years, and you know them all and you socialise with them at night time, get stuck into them during the day, tell them you beat them and all that sort of stuff, you know. I've been racing here for 10 years and I still enjoy it. It's all about flogging the car for a little bit and abusing it.
We're about to get into the Dash for Cash, which is a big flat rally stage where all of the guys will go and have their one last stage.
I think the Dash for Cash is the best thing to watch because the comp's done, so everyone's keen to just have a bit of fun and hopefully we can see something exciting.
We'd like to thank Drivetech 4x4, NJV 4x4 and Steve's Car Alarms as our major sponsors. A range of other four-wheel drive shops and representatives have all got on board as well. We'd like to say a big thanks.
It's been a great event. Drivetech 4x4, hopefully we're behind it again next year and can't wait to get out.
Next year will be a bigger event, tougher stages, maybe a couple of extra stages.
We couldn't run the event without all the helpers that are running around, manning the gate, just doing so much that just keeps this race running and really good for the competitors. So I hope everybody's had a really fantastic time.
We're here in Willow Grove, Victoria for the 2019 Drivetech 4x4 Challenge. Winch Challenge in Victoria has been around since the late 90s. Started off as a very grassroots thing where it was sometimes out on a four-wheel drive track. As years developed, this is one of the very early properties where events were ran. A lot of the old guys that were racing back in the late 90s are still racing today. But some of these new teams have come out with some surprises. On a regular basis, we'll run an event that's got between 15 and 16 stages. This year we've run 28. Today we've got 15 stages. The guys wanted a challenge this year, so we stepped up the track design. We run predominantly through the bush area, much more rugged terrain, really long stages all set up for the drivers, not so much for the spectating. It's a very big and possibly too much of a gruelling day for some of them. We lost nearly half of the field through the day. A lot of these stages are very difficult. Nothing that you'd really ever come across in a regular four-wheel driving situation out in the bush. Massive winches, very high speed on some of these things.
You can expect some really strong four-wheel drive action. It's pretty heavy duty. Most of the cars are completely modified. Cars that are doing things you wouldn't think a car was capable of. It's a big task that goes into running the race, and actually I don't get to come in and enjoy it as much. I'm in the shed running it. I do all the behind scenes, the administration, the check-in lists. I make sure all the teams have got all the information to me.
We've put together the biggest marshal team that we've ever come up with. We've got 75 volunteer marshals, all supplied through CCDA 4-wheel drive. We've got about another 40 helpers doing everything from the toilets to the car parking to the bunting. There's 140, 150 people that it takes to put this race together, and about 4 months worth of setup, planning, setting out tracks and making everything safe.
Each team consists of a driver and a navvy. The drivers have got all the nerves and everything, they've got to get over that. The navvy certainly has the hardest job.
With a lot of forms of motorsport, the navigator just sits in there as a passenger, giving some directions. In Winch Challenge, the navigator's actually getting out of the car.
He's in bog holes, he's pulling the winch cable, connecting it to trees, talking to the driver. I really don't know how they do it.
It's an athletic exercise for them, climbing up some of these big winch hills, 50, 60 metres. They had stages where they had 4, 5 and 6 winches on each stage, so they've had a good workout.
They do a fantastic job, and you know, through the whole event we've had no incidences and it's been great. We were really lucky in the lead up to the event because we've had some rain, so we've got some damp tracks, which creates better action. It's just been perfect, really, run-in for the event.
Sunday stages are all set up around good, clean viewing, plenty of access, nice and close to the car park. As you can see, most of the hills have got a really clear view to the spectator viewing areas. There's lots of things to see today.
I managed to come down on Friday night and the atmosphere was electric. A lot of people are into forward driving and camping in the outdoors and thoroughly enjoy it.
We've got one stage set up today, which is stage 23, which is one of the more technical winches. So they're actually winching diagonally up a big winch wall. There's a few drivers that are having some exciting times. They're sitting on the low side of the car on an angle on a winch wall. We've got a couple of small bog holes that they're going through as well, but today's a little bit more about the big winch pulls. Sunday's set up as a big family-friendly day.
Really good for spectating. You've got awesome areas to watch anything you need to watch.
Lots of kids running around.
It's nice to see them enjoying themselves. They do get a bit muddy.
My favourite part has really been watching the race cars go by and playing with my friends.
During the race, the McMullen family are kind enough to open up Bindaree Station for us to use. It is a working farm. The teams have been really, really good, paying a lot of respect using farm tracks. We do a lot of environmental rehabilitation after the race is done as well. Got sediment traps in creeks and things like that. It's very important to us as we're operating the event and the guys are out on the tracks winching, driving quickly, that we are operating quickly and environmentally.
We run through the CCDA, Cross Country Drivers Association, and they have certain rules and regulations for the car setups, so the cage setups, and we have scrutineering with the cars. If anybody's looking to get into winch trucks, please come along to a competition. We have CCDA meetings every month. Come along and talk to some of the experienced people so they can talk to you about what you need to do to set up your car. The marshals themselves, we could not run the race without the marshals, but they too have been given marshal training and they also have driver briefings in the morning so that we can tell them of any concerns that they might have to look out for so that we run this event safely.
If you think this sort of thing might interest you, you can check us out on 4x4racing.com.au or our association, which is CCDA Forward Drive. We'd like to thank our major sponsors, Drivetech 4x4, Steve's Car Alarms and iDrive Australia.
We are really happy to support it. We've been doing it for 3 years and we're going to keep doing it as long as we can. And many people that see this and want to come down and grab your tickets and come on a Saturday and Sunday.
Thanks guys for watching another big episode of 4 Wheel Drive TV. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you share it with your friends and subscribe to the 4 Wheel Drive TV YouTube page. Well guys, I'm Simon Christie. Thank you for tuning in and we'll be back next week with another big episode of 4 Wheel Drive TV.